Hello, welcome to Future Islands. Sam, I think, William, Gerrit, and Pepe. Welcome to Italy and welcome to Europe, first of all. Is it the first time?
Second time in Italy.
Okay.
It's our fourth big tour of Europe and seventh time overseas.
In support of the new album, which is called On the Water, which came quite quickly after In Evening Air. We were not expecting it to be so quickly out. Was it an easy album to write, or did you have lots of ideas from the previous one? Or
I think surprisingly it was an easy album to write. Am I wrong in saying that? It came really fast. I don't know if it was an easy album to write, but we weren't really shooting to like have an album.
But we pushed ourselves really hard though. We were like, let's really try to do this and get it done, like written, recorded, and released in 1 year, because both of our previous albums, there was like, the first album was recorded in 2007. It didn't come out until like towards the end of 2008 or like the middle of 2008. Same with An Evening Air. It was like about over a year after we started recording it when it finally came out. So we just wanted to see if we could do it kind of like a challenge to ourselves, if we could do it that quick.
I wanted to, or I think we all, I just think we wanted to stay rolling to, keep in people's minds, and music culture is so different now, like people can forget about you if you're not creating. And, but then again, we were creating music, and we were just going to the studio to record, and we ended up coming out with an album. We went in with 5 songs and came out with an album, so.
What's surprising is that, considering that the two albums are very close in time, is that how different they are in terms of one sounds not almost like a different band, that's a cliche, but it's almost like you gelled and developed your sound, and also lyrically seems to be kind of different from the previous one. So did you have an idea of how to tackle it, or it just happened?
Well, yeah, it just happened. I mean, the songs we went into the studio with were just the things that happened over maybe an 8-month period, like the songs that popped up. And then what was written in the studio, I think, was a lot of us just being together in a space for the first time in a long time, like living, like really the first time we've ever lived in a space and written songs while doing that, So it was Balance, Give Us the Wind, and Where I Found You were written in that 10 days. And then Tybee Island came out of that session as well, but was like an old song of mine that finally got life. And then Open was like a demo of William. So these different things were happening, and we're, it's also a lot of us growing just as people and as musicians. I feel like On the Water, there's a few songs that really deal with who we are as musicians, and kind of that struggle, which maybe isn't what people want to hear about, but I think it's that kind of honesty that really makes On the Water a little different than In Evening Air, although In Evening Air has a really intense honesty to the tragic and the truth. It's also very poetic, and as far as lyrically, I was really trying to strip down any kind of those ideas, like when saying the hardest truth, just say it instead of like trying to wrap it up in poetry. Although I still love poetry.
Did the recording differ from because I remember reading about the In Evening Air being recorded in the living room or
me and Williams.
Okay. Yeah. But this one, you at the studio, so was it?
No, it was in the living room.
That's our friend's
So same process anyway.
Yeah, we traveled down south to the state we're from, North Carolina, and recorded at a good friend of ours' house, in the living room of his house. So. Okay.
So still applying the same approach. Yeah. Okay.
It's important.
Are you gonna ever record anything in a studio, or it's gonna be living room all the time?
Well, the houses might get nicer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But I think it's just kind of more comfortable. The studio is like work. It's like, this is the work environment. Usually with a studio comes a set of rules or a time, like a time limit, and an ever-growing bill.
It costs a lot more.
But, recording in a house, there is that just more of a relaxing vibe. Yeah. And also, houses have ghosts that, and just the sound of a house. And our friend Chester, who's a producer, really knows how to kind of capture sounds and find sounds within a space. And that's really interesting to think about, you know, what different rooms sound like and how that kind of makes an album too. It's just like the kind of room you record in, just like a studio would do the same.
Was this the idea behind Tybee Island? Because it seems like a song which is most like a song whistled or sung by someone who's actually walking into space. You can listen to the space around it.
No, well, that song, I wrote the lyrics to that song about 7 years ago now, 7 years back, and it was just kind of something like a thing that just popped back into my mind all of a sudden. And I was singing that song to myself and over and over and over again, and I took a trip and I was out at the beach down in Georgia and was singing that song to myself at Tybee Island. It's a beach in Savannah, Georgia, and when I got back from my trip, I told the guys I really wanted to record it. So it was really awesome. You know, when we were down in North Carolina, we took a day trip to the beach. We recorded some just sounds of the water, and that whole time we were recording, we were going out to the dock because we were on the coast, and just capturing different sounds, environmental sounds to give the album some life, and kind of the songs, you know, a certain life and understanding in a space. And while we were at the beach, I just walked with William's digital recorder. We were recording the sounds and sang the song on the beach so you can hear the waves. And then the guys just took that and made it a beautiful song.
Okay. Talking about the sound of the album, but generally your sound, it's becoming more popular now, you know, with chill wave or whatever you call it this year, kind of fashion of not having guitars or just having the synths. But you have been described in ways which are completely different, like synth pop, which I don't really understand, and also 80s sounding, which I don't get either, except maybe there's something in the bass which may resemble like New Order's Beat Oak. But where do you stand in this? I mean, do you ever thought, okay, let's put some guitars on this track, or let's get a drummer for the first time ever?
We brought a lot. Like we added a lot of electric guitar on the last album, and we've always added like acoustic guitar kind of under. So we're definitely not afraid of guitars or other. Like on all of our albums, we have a live drummer. Our friend Denny from the band Double Dagger from Baltimore. He added drums to the last two albums, and we also we brought in violin and cello and marimba. It's not a matter of like there's not like a set of rules of like what we have on the record. It's just if we have some friends who played this instrument, we're like, oh, it might sound cool if we tried this idea. So.
I'm asking you this because I'm curious how the song, gets written. Because usually, the majority of bands will say, "Oh, just get a guitar, or just strum a few chords and sing something on it," and then the song gets built from it.
Well, either like usually Garrett will have an idea, and then we'll kind of build on that and work on how the song should build and shift. Other times we'll just be in a room, or like me and Garrett will just be jamming. Like those songs, the three that were written for On the Water in Elizabeth City was all just us in a room, and Sam's sitting there, writing. Right. We're kind of like getting this groove, and just like we leave the drum machine running, and just kind of it goes off in different directions, and sometimes it comes back and it works, and that's when we have the song.
Out of all the 80s comparisons that have been thrown at you, I never, or maybe it's me, but I never see the Associates. Do you know them?
Yeah.
Would you agree with them with using this? Because the idea of Billy from the Associates had a completely different voice for me. It was more like a falsetto, but the idea of using the synths almost like an orchestra, which you seem to do, and having this voice which has so much personality that could be a band on its own, made me think of them immediately.
Our good friend Chris showed us that band actually a few years ago.
Okay.
We've recently gone into it, listened to it more. So, but that's an awesome comparison. I think they're a great band.
Okay.
OMD was a big influence on In Evening Air. OMD's album Dazzle Ships. We all kind of discovered that and became like something we were listening to while recording. We're really into just the format of that album, just how it unfolds is pretty amazing.
Okay.
And we're really about that too, like creating whole albums, things that that's what we want to be able to do, is to create albums that have a circularity, or just like have in their own ebb and flow and fit together just right, or tell a story just right. So
how did the duet with Jen Wesner from Wyoke come about?
Well, Garrett came up with that song and sent it to me and William. We ended up we wrote that song and then played it live a few times, and then that's when I introduced the idea to the guys about bringing in a female vocal for the second verse, because I thought it was the song was too much like one guy. Like when it's just from a male, like the male perspective, it's just like one guy like, I wish you'd just give me a chance. It's being really sad. And I was like, you know, I want to flip this perspective, and you know, if it's a guy and a girl singing to each other, then it'll be like two people wanting the same thing and not realizing that the other person wants that thing. You know, I thought it made for a better story and a more real story. And really, I introduced it to them. They liked the idea, and I called up Jen and asked if she would be up for doing a song, and she gave me her email address, and I shot her the song. And then 5 minutes later, she wrote me back and said that she wanted to do it. So, but they're friends of ours from Baltimore. We met out on the road in Knoxville, Tennessee, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and they're like the sweetest people in the world, Andy and Jen. So, and an amazing band.
If you had to do this kind of thing again, who would you do it with?
I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'd probably pick Jen again. I don't know. There's always new voices. I mean, it's nice to like get kind of different characters. I think different voices fit different kind of roles too. I mean, Jen's kind of amazing because she can do a lot of different kinds of things with her voice. And also she can get kind of rough the way I can get rough, which I like. But her voice is like effortless. It's like beautiful.
You were talking about honesty earlier, and I was wondering, I mean, I haven't seen you playing live yet, but I was wondering how such an intimate record, well, your record also, I mean, In Evening Air as well, is quite intimate and quite honest in almost a brutal way, as you were saying. How is it easy to play it live, or do you have to have some distance from the record once you recorded it in order to sing it again every single night?
That's a little too personal.
Okay.
I'm just it does get hard. It does get hard sometimes. Once you work past the feeling, like a song like Tin Man is a song that our fans really love. People that know us know that song. They love that song. And really in the last year, I just don't feel the same way about it. Like I've come, you know, On the Water is about that coming to an acceptance over this loss of someone and moving on to other things. And then, but you know, Tin Man is just like dealing with it right when it all fell apart. You know, the relationship fell apart, and just like that anger and that rage. And you know, so now to perform it, I have to tap into something that I don't want to, but I do because I have to. You know, I have to tap into that to make it real. And those feelings were real, but now I just kind of want to like let it be, because I'm not really angry anymore.
Okay. So what next for you? You're gonna finish the tour and then start recording again, or? Yeah. Plans already? And you always written?
We're gonna no, not quite. We're going into this. We're going to record some songs in April, and just some stuff for some like 7-inch releases this year. And that's pretty much it. We've got some time off, and so yeah, hopefully. I mean, we're just going to keep working and also relaxing. You know, taking some time for ourselves, and letting the songs come, not forcing anything.
Good luck then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.